with coverage you can count on. This is WNEMTV5 News.
New information this noon on the murder of a Birch Run man. A fourth suspect now under arrest after the body of 65-year-old Scott Englehart was found in his home after it was set on fire. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this noon. I'm Blake Keller. Saginaw County Sheriff William Fetterspiel says there's an arrest warrant for a fifth person wanted in this case. 3 others were arraigned and charged, and that trio's next court date is scheduled for November 2nd. And police still need your help tracking down persons of interest in a separate murder. The Saginaw County Sheriff's Office releasing these photos of who they're looking for. On October 10th, 21-year-old Darius Jackson of Saginaw was in the backseat of a car at Bay near Troutner in Kochville Township when a car drove up from behind and opened fire. Sheriff Fetterspiel says it's imperative to get those suspects off the street.
They're part of a killing, and we need to bring them in. I mean, right now they're wandering around our streets, and we're concerned about the safety of our public and the people that live in Saginaw County. So we ask anybody to help us, and we'll bring them to custody as well.
Police already arrested a juvenile who remains in detention without bond.
We know that safety is crucial, and so putting more resources into helping kids, helping communities, helping public safety officers has been a priority of my administration. We've gotten a lot done. There's more work to do without question.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer meeting with local leaders to help make the streets of Saginaw safer. The governor joining Mayor Brenda Moore and a panel of officers to discuss the first 2 pillars of her Michigan Safe Communities plan. That includes getting illegal guns off the streets and investing $32 million into the community to hire and retain officers. The roundtable bringing up many potential solutions the governor was pleased to hear.
So I think some of the feedback was really important in terms of how we prevent different agencies from kind of cannibalizing one another, how we entice good people to go into this line of work. It is something that's really important.
Now she hopes the investment will help get well-trained officers on the streets. We are less than 1 week away from the November election, and busing services are helping to make voting more accessible for all of Mid-Michigan residents. iRide in Isabella County will provide free rides all day Tuesday to precincts, but they do recommend calling the day before to reserve your ride. Stars in Saginaw County will also offer free rides for voters. And new details on a developing story. The city of Flint says discharge of sewage into the Flint River from heavy rainfall finally ended around 1 this morning. Although the discharge has stopped, the health department recommends to avoid contact with the river. Water samples are being taken and results will be posted on michigan.gov. All right, here is a live look over downtown Flint and Saginaw. Some foggy and misty conditions, at least in the last hour or so, but it's nothing we can't handle. Of course, joining us now from the First Warn 5 Weather Center is meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Hey there, Blake. Yes, and not like Monday by any means either. Not really raining out there, but still some of that mist around the area. Enough to turn on the windshield wipers.
It's a nuisance.
Yes, it is a nuisance for sure. But Blake, we'll just continue with these mainly cloudy skies through the rest of the daytime for today. Now, good afternoon, Mid-Michigan. I hope that your Wednesday has been going well so far. So again, we've just been dealing with mainly these overcast conditions. No rain, really. I wouldn't say rain. It's just kind of that mist as you are headed out the door at this lunch hour here. No rain even showing up on the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker as well. Just a lot of those clouds that are blanketing the region here at the moment. But that mist is showing up on the visibility map here just a little bit here. We can see some of the area airports that are reporting some of that haze and some of that mist here, especially around the Tri-Cities down towards Flint. All of this is because the air is fairly saturated. Those relative humidities are up above 70% everywhere, even reading 100% in Bad Axe. They're 90% in Saginaw. Temperatures out there still feeling a little on the chillier end, especially out along US 127, down into the middle 40s there, 46 in Clare and Mount Pleasant. But the lake is still having influence in the thumb there with 50s all through the thumb. So for the rest of the day, we just continue with those cloudy skies. Again, not really that rain, but still some of that mist. But we'll talk about Friday's rain coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Matthew, sounds good. Thank you. New this noon, a groundbreaking move from the State Department. The U.S. has officially issued its first passport with an X gender designation, a major milestone for those who do not identify as male or female. It has not been announced who that passport was issued to, but the State Department says it expects it will offer the option more broadly starting next year. The FDA taking the first step toward eventual approval of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for children as young as 5. Deborah Alfarone is at the White House with those details and what it could mean for parents when and if the drug is given final approval.
Out of 18 voting members, 17 voted yes.
An independent FDA advisory panel voted to authorize a lower dose of the Pfizer COVID vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. Final approval could come as early as next week, giving parents a decision to make.
Giving parents the option to make that decision for themselves will be something that in history we will be glad that we were able to do.
Catherine Yonioka, a mother of twin 8-year-olds, has determined she has no major concerns with the risks.
It means getting back to normalcy. We've been very careful for the first year because my son has neurological issues. So I'm first in line to get that shot for them.
A CBS News poll showed only about a third of parents are like Yonioka, saying they'll definitely get their kids vaccinated when it is approved for use. The White House says it's planning a public relations campaign to educate parents about the benefits of vaccination. But even some on the FDA panel say they're worried about forcing the vaccine on all children.
I'm just worried that if we say yes, that the states are going to mandate administration of this vaccine to children in order to go to school, and I do not agree with that.
White House officials say they endorse vaccine mandates in schools.
Requirements work, and we support states and school districts taking actions to ensure that everyone who's eligible get vaccinated. But again, those decisions should be made at the state and local level.
The smaller kids' vaccine doses are already being shipped out in anticipation of final approval.
Well, that was Deborah Alfarone reporting. The White House says it's necessary to begin shipping the packages even before there is final approval, just to be ready to roll as soon as approval is given. However, it will be up to the FDA and CDC to independently approve it. The scene of last week's mass killing in Clare County will be the site of a candlelight vigil this evening. 4 people were shot to death last Wednesday at the home of Henry Boyer of Grant Township. They include Boyer, his daughter Patricia, and 2 friends who were helping him build a stove. There will be donation cans to help with their funeral expenses. That vigil will be in front of Boyer's house at 6:30. Mid-Michigan about to get safer. The Michigan State Police holding a ribbon-cutting ceremony today for their new post in West Branch. The West Branch post covers Aranac, Gladwin, Iosco, and Ogama counties. Tonight, Grand Blanc Community Schools hosts a hiring fair. It begins at 4 and ends at 7. Now, the fair will be at the Perry Center Board of Education room. That's on South Saginaw Street in Grand Blanc. The district says there are many open positions, including security, maintenance, custodial, and much more. Just bring your resume. People will be there to answer your questions. And another hiring fair at Mount Holly Ski Resort. It's in Holly on Dixie Highway. It's tonight from 6 to 7:30. That fair allows you to meet with managers and get a feel for the jobs offered. You can apply for a job during the event, and the company says employees can even ski or snowboard for free. How cool would that be? All right, much more ahead on TV5 News at noon, including workers walking off the job. Why workers at a popular fast food chain are demanding change. And a new study shows some of your favorite fast food meals could contain unwanted chemicals. Those stories and more as TV5 News at noon continues in just a moment. And for the latest news and weather, you can download the TV5 mobile app. You'll find it in the App Store or on Google Play. Just search WNEM. Stick with us. Chicken nuggets, burritos, and cheeseburgers from your favorite fast food place may contain chemicals linked to serious health problems. Researchers at the George Washington University sampled 64 fast food items from several places. More than 80% included a chemical used to make plastics soft. The chemical is known to disrupt endocrine system, and chicken burritos and cheeseburgers had the highest levels, while cheese pizzas had the lowest. And looking at people while they are talking makes it much easier for us to comprehend what they have to say. A study published in the Journal of the Acoustical Society of America found seeing a person's face really improves how well we understand them, especially in loud settings. Researchers also found people were less engaged when another voice tried to distract them. And new research shows COVID-19 vaccines are safe for people with a history of severe allergic reactions. The study included more than 50,000 employees in the Mass General Brigham healthcare system. While those with a history of severe allergic reactions reported more allergic symptoms after the vaccine, more than 97% were still able to get both doses. McDonald's workers walking off the job, why workers are demanding better working conditions and for their concerns to be heard. Plus, do you like Halloween? Well, just how many Americans are celebrating this year and how many plan to skip out? Those stories and more ahead for you. Several hundred McDonald's workers in 12 cities in the U.S., including right here in Michigan, walked off the job today. The demonstrators in cities like Miami, Detroit, and Houston say there is an ongoing problem of sexual harassment and violence in the company's stores. The strike was spurred by a lawsuit from a teenager and her parents. A federal judge rejecting a pilot's union request to block Southwest Airlines' vaccine mandate. The union argued the rule unlawfully imposed new conditions of employment and the threat of termination for unvaccinated workers. Like other airlines, Southwest implemented the mandate to abide by a Biden administration order for workers to be vaccinated by December 8th. And for some people, Halloween is a dream. For others, it's a nightmare. According to a new poll, nearly a quarter of Americans say it is their favorite holiday, while 2 in 5 say they like it, but it isn't their favorite. On the flip side, 1 in 5 say they don't really like it, and 10% outright refuse to celebrate. Well, a pre-pandemic tradition returns to Washington, D.C., the city hosting the annual 17th Street High Heel Race. The event was canceled last year due to COVID, and thousands showed up to cheer on drag performers as they dashed down the street, showing off their extravagant costumes. It's been a huge hit. All right, before we go, we want to issue a correction to a story we told you at the beginning. The vigil being held in Clare for the victims of the mass killing has changed locations. It's at Littlefield Park in Farwell at 6:30 tonight, which is on Main Street. So we just wanted to issue that correction. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great day and stay safe.